Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I say welcome to another edition of Dragon Sports Live. I am Donte Payne, as we got another exciting show for you. We're going to embark on the world of sports, of what's going on in football in the off season. Big season moves happen, and we got a very interesting finals match going on in the finals. Two teams that's hungry for it. One team ain't been since Reggie Miller era. One team hasn't been since Durant, Harden, and Westbrook was on the same team in 2012. So we gonna check it out, y'all. And we got two teams that was undefeated, now been defeated. I'll let y'all know who those teams was in the WNBA and more. But those who are new to Dragon Sports Live, this is not your typical podcast, and it's not intended for copyright infringement. This is a podcast for sports and music. And where the music come from? That music comes from you. It's music that you send to me. It's music that I find. You're trying to get your name out there? Let me help you. That's what Dragon Sports Live is. It's that good. So, those who on Spotify, you ain't gonna have music just yet, but you will have me. So let's start our show off right with some great music, and then we gonna talk that young NFL, the off-season moves, and more. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another edition of Dragon Sports Live. That last song that you just heard, if you was tuning in, was You Don't Want No Smoke by Erica Mason. So be sure to check out her music and all the artists' music that I play on Dragon Sports Live. Also, you can check it out on Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, or wherever you get your music. Be sure to check them out and support these artists, because they making good music. They putting their work into it. They just want to be heard. So let them be heard. Give them your support and all. But we ain't getting no smoke in baseball. I don't know if y'all been looking at the standings lately as far as baseball, what's going on, but it's crazy, because if you look in the American League, the New York Yankees are sitting at 42-27. Tampa Bay and Toronto are both at 38-32. With the Boston Red Sox right on their tail at 36-36. Now the Orioles, they're 29-40, but they creeping. They on a 2-game win streak right now. And in that league, the Boston Red Sox have been on a 4-game win streak. So they creeping in there. They going up. The Detroit Tigers in the NL Central lead the way at 46-26. They did lose their last game though, but however, in their last 10, they're 6-4. Twins is 36-34. Cleveland Guardians is 35-34. Kansas City Royals is 34-37. The White Sox, we managed to come back up and win 23 games, but we still lost 48. So I think we eclipsed how many wins. Like, we got two more wins than we had last year. Yay! Let's see what they can do. But they on a 4-game loser streak, and the struggle has been real for them on that. I give y'all more updates on that too. So the New York Mets in the National League sitting at 45-26. Phillies at 41-29. Braves 31-38. Marlins 27-41. So is there Cubs 43-28. Brewers 38-34. Dodgers 42-29. San Francisco 41-30. It's gonna be a lot of teams vying and fighting for they're gonna be vying and fighting for these playoff spots when if the playoffs was to start today. But whew, all these teams that's up there, yeah, it's gonna be a nice little who get what, who's gonna conquer. Like, minus a few teams that's at the bottom of the stoop hole, it's gonna be who get what, who's going that, who's coming that, who coming in hot. So we did that, like our White Sox. They had to make some trades. Like, they got Aaron Chevelle from the Milwaukee Brewers. It says no issues with Brewers. They just trade him. Like, Aaron Chevelle joined the White Sox on Saturday, giving a right hand to get a day to get to know his new Chicago teammates before starting for them after being traded from Milwaukee. Cool. But that's way more time that he had last July when he was traded from Tampa Bay to Milwaukee. His first day in the Brewers clubhouse was the same day he made his first start for them. So he experienced that. He good at doing that. He was like, I met the team, I pitched. So I just rely on that experience and go in there and do what I do best. But it ain't no hard feelings for that. Aaron Chevelle is eligible for free agent after this season. And for the White Sox, Andrew Vaughn and $800,000 in cash. Like I say, he had no issues with anybody there. He was just 1-2 with a 4.91 ERA this season, and he was only making $8 million. He has allowed only 7 runs over 19 innings and 4 starts since returning from the injured list May 22nd after dealing with a strained left hamstring. He is 40-37 with a 4.6 ERA in his big league career, but went 7-5 with a 3.84 ERA in 19 starts for the Brewers. So he definitely need the pitching help, and they definitely need. White Sox just need help all the way around. Like, I don't know if we need to overhaul. We already changed management. Like, White Sox ain't really been relevant since Ozzie Guillen had the White Sox. And now he's announcing. He's broadcasting. That's how I look at it. He ain't been there. The Rockies, the other team, they have reached the worst 70-game mark since 1899. Like I said before, the Rockies are struggling, but they really haven't been really irrelevant, though, to me, as long as I've been following and looking at baseball, and I'm 35, for some years. But yeah, they got the fewest wins through 70 games since 1899 Cleveland Spiders. Wow. That's all I can say is wow. They had a 4-1 loss to the Atlanta Braves on Saturday. Like I said, their record is 13-57. The Rockies have the 4th fewest wins by any team through their first 70 decisions in the season in ML history, and the fewest since 1899. Spiders won 12 of their first 70 games. Whew. Colorado's win percentage is at 186, and is currently on pace to go 30-132 this season, which would top what the White Sox did last year. So that's that. But yeah, they're gonna top that. They're in the record books. The wrong way to be in the record books. But the bright side for that is the Rockies encouraging start by rookie right-hander Chase Dowler, a native of Evans, Georgia, who allowed 4 runs and 3 earned in 6 innings. Rockies have 10 fewer wins than the Chicago White Sox, who had the second worst records in the majors at 23 and 48. But we'll see. We also had a rare feat that happens. So the Contreras brothers hit home runs in the same inning as opponents. Wilson and William became the second pair of brothers to homer in the same inning as opponents in baseball in the modern era on Saturday. They both was in the 9th inning. St. Louis Cardinals win 8-5 over the Milwaukee Brewers, which snapped the Cards' 6-game skid. Wilson Contreras' 9th homer of the season, a sole shot to right center, gave St. Louis a 8-4 lead at the top of the 9th. William led off the bottom half of the inning with his 6th homer of the season to left field. 3 home runs off your brother. How is that? But like I said, the Contreras brothers are the first to homer in the same inning as opponents since Rick, Boston Red Sox, and Wes Frere, Cleveland Indians, accomplished that feat on July 19th, 1933. But Rick's home run came off his brother Wes. So I love to see that. But the last to do it in the same inning were Josh and Bo Naylor for the Cleveland on April 10th, 2024. So I like that. I likes that. David Martinez backs coach as National Skid hits 7. You know, they've been sliding downhill. So let's see what's going on at Kansas City Royals had called up Jack Conjun a year after drafting him 6th overall in 2024. The Red Sox demote pitcher Dick Fitz to AAA. Worcester outfielder Roman Anthony was hitless in his debut. RBI ground out. Undrafted Otto Kemp sparks rally in Phillies game. When you love to have an undrafted player who become a spark for the team and help your team win. Braves AJ Smith Shore will have the Tommy John surgery, and Craig Kimball elected on free agency on Monday. So he decided to become a free agent. They was gonna send him down to the minor leagues, but nope, he wanted to become a free agent. Still got love in his tank. And yeah. Terry Francona returns to Cleveland as the Reds manager, which was a good sight as well. And the Marlins pitcher Yuli Perez is back after a rocky start. Started out injury issues and stuff like that, but he's back after a rocky start, and yeah. But that's all that's going on right now. We do have some games that's going on. We taking on the Cincinnati Reds are taking on the Detroit Tigers, and they're going to the bottom of the second where the score is 0-0. We got the Los Angeles Angels taking on the Baltimore Orioles. That game starts at 12:35. So it's going down in the DM. But we got some more music coming up here on Dragon Sports Live. We got Mouthpiece, Grass Ain't Greener here on Dragon Sports Live. So let's check it out. Followed by Caleb Gordon, Evidence. Here we go. Let's get it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. That last song you just heard was Caleb Gordon Evidence. And we got evidence that some people are not right in the head. In some ways, they are, and some people are not. But Antonio Brown was arrested again. He's in some more legal trouble yet again. Will it end for Antonio Brown? Where would it end? That's the real question that you gotta ask. Where would it end for Antonio Brown? Because the simple fact of he's in trouble yet again, and we don't know what to say. So he's there. Let's see what he says. But he's in trouble for attempted murder. Is what he's in trouble for. Which is crazy. Because it is attempted murder with a firearm. Now, the warrant was reviewed by several media outlets. This charge is based on a shooting of that Brown was allegedly involved in during a select boxing event in Miami last month. So, now Brown was detained by police after gunshots were fired at the boxing event, which was hosted by online streaming Aiden Ross. Brown is seen in the video fighting several people on a video post. But Brown was released after a few hours. He posted an explanation on his social media. I was jumped by multiple individuals who tried to steal my jewelry and cause physical harm to me. But it is what it is. Rookie draft pick Shamar Stewart leads the Bengals minicamp amid contractor shoot. Now you just got there. You are a rookie, defensive end, that the Bengals drafted in the first round of this year's draft. Has not participated in any of the team's off-season workouts, according to source. The dispute is centered on interpretation of language in contract that could affect guaranteed money. Now, he wasn't there today. So, the Bengals will focus on the guys that's there, according to Zach Taylor. But you, like I said, you a rookie. Yes, you was drafted in the first round, but you worry about guaranteed money. And I'm like, play the game first. Show them at minicamp why they should give you that, rework that minicamp. Don't hold out because they ain't doing that. Show you that. So, show them. But other than that, most of the mini camps has been doing pretty well. The Chicago Bears mini camp is going well. Caleb Williams taking more command. He even came to the rookies mini camp just so he can take command and take control and get a handle on the teams. So he even came there. But we'll see. Colson Loveland, the tight end from Michigan, who they drafted with the 10th round pick, is looking good. Luke DeBerry, who they got in the second round, is also looking good. Pretty much all of our draft picks are looking pretty good. Now, whether they make the team or not, that's something we need to figure out. But we'll see. Um, the Bears have been busy this offseason. So let's see what they can do. Let's see how they gonna conquer it, and let's see what we do. Dak Prescott is entering his 10th season as a Dallas Cowboy quarterback. Only Troy Aikman had a longer run at the position in franchise history. Aikman and Roger Staubach are the only two quarterbacks that have won a Super Bowl with the Cowboys, though. Prescott turns 32 next month and is determined to join them, but not to cement any kind of legacy. And most quarterbacks, they tend to say they want to win a championship. But it's 10 years with the team. Sometimes a change of series might be all that you need. Sometimes changes to the coaching staff and offensive line. So we will see. Stephen A didn't think otherwise. He said all the quarterbacks tend to say the same thing. They all say the same thing at times. So it's crazy to imagine that, and they're still saying the same thing. But it is what it is. Let's see what they're going to do. Can they make it through the playoffs? Dak Prescott only got 2 playoff wins under his belt in his 10-year career at Dallas. Maybe it's time for a change of scenery. I definitely think so, but we're going to find out. Saints sign running back Cam Akers to a 1-year deal after a minicamp tryout. Akers spent 2 practices with the team during mandatory minicamp, joined Alvin Kamara, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Kendrick Miller, and rookie 6th-round pick Devin Neal. Akers also turns 26 in June. And was a 2nd-round pick by the Los Angeles Rams in 2020. Spent the first 3 seasons of his career with the Rams before being traded to Minnesota. Akers signed with the Houston Texans last season and had a second stint with the Vikings after he was traded to Minnesota mid-season last fall. He rushed for 625 yards and 2 touchdowns in his rookie season, 131 rushing and a touchdown in the Rams win against the Seattle Seahawks. Akers had towards Achilles prior to 2021 season and was expected to miss the entire campaign, but returned in time to participate in the Rams' 4 playoff victories. So that's what was that. The coach going to add the late Jim Irsay to the Ring of Honor during the season opener, which is a good thing. That's a good thing. Team the playing induction that would have been a day he would have turned 66. But he died May 21st. His daughters are set to take over and continue his legacy. Now, Irsay had owned the coach since his father's death in 1997, taking over the team at the age of 37. He was the NFL's youngest owner at the time. During his ownership, the coach won the Super Bowl in 2006. Also claimed 10 division titles and 2 NFC championships. So that lets you know that he's doing a real good job. You got the likes of Pat McAfee, Edgerrin James, Peyton Manning that came from that team. So good, big ups. I think your daughter's gonna do well. Eagles defensive end Bryce Huff has been traded to the San Francisco 49ers for a 26 mid-round draft pick. Um, they are trying to pad their defensive line more. Eagles feel like been taking a gut shot and hit shots because people have moved and went on to different teams, but I still think they will be very okay under Vic Fangio's leadership. So I think they'll be fine in that regard. The Steelers hosted Gabe Davis for a tryout. He played for the Bills and Jaguars. He had a torn meniscus last year, so he just trying to retrain his spot and get back on there. Um, Jaguars have added 43 new players to their 91 off-season roster, 9 draft picks and 22 undrafted free agents. They're trying to rebuild their team and find a perfect fit. They're trying to find a diamond in the rough. Lions center Frank Ragnow announced his retirement at 29. Like, I look at him like, oh, you're so young. But like I said, football is a very competitive sport, contact sport. And sometimes the struggle be real. Sometimes it's a medical induced retirement, like, oh, or sometimes you lose the love for the game. But Lions got to look for a new center now, and hopefully they got one. A new starting center, let's put it like that, a new starting center. Saquon Barkley will be featured on the cover of Madden 26, ladies and gentlemen. Children of all ages. They will have, so if you're a Madden fan like me, I love the game. But my question is, when y'all allow him to do the backwards hurdle, are y'all going to put that in the game? Because that backwards hurdle was the whoop. So let's see. Saints rookie cornerback Kool-Aid McKenzie will take over Carr's jersey number since he retired. That's the number that he wanted, and he's gonna take over that jersey number. Patriots Inc. number 4 pick Will Campbell to a 4-year, $46 million fully guaranteed contract. He getting paid the big bucks, but hey, you drafted somebody who could be a force on defense. So that is what it is. Coach Cole Anthony Richardson shoulder is sidelined, so it causes Daniel Jones and others to compete for the quarterback competition to kind of be put on pause, but we'll know who we getting in the meantime, between time. So that's what's going on right now. We're going to get into some music. Stay tuned for some more sports. We got WNBA and NBA to talk about. The finals is getting hot. I think it's a very good finals defensively that y'all know it more. But right now we're going to get into Low Conti Memories here on Dragon Sports Live, followed by Keith J. Slow Down. Welcome back to another edition of Dragon Sports Live. That last song that you just heard was Came In and Slowed Down by Keith J. And we do got a slowdown happening. No, it ain't a slowdown. I was going to say the finals has been a slowdown. No, it's just they start out the gate. The first game, they start out the gate too fast. So OKC takes that game. Game 2, it was 2 minutes into the game and nobody had scored. They didn't score until about the 3rd minute of the game. It was slowed down, defensive pressure, lock it down, make sure on ball lockups. It was a lot of that, but they did it. They foot off the gas. So it was that. Game 3, again, a defensive game, but then it came down the wire where OKC kept battling and came out at the end, caught up, and they did what they had to do. So it's happening, guys. This uh this might go to 7. I'm just gonna say this might go to 7. Siakam doing his thing. You know, he already has a championship from Toronto. Caruso's doing his thing. He got one with the Lakers, and he's proving. I'm gonna call it the Chicago curse. Whenever they trade somebody, in most cases, let's say they trade multiple players. One of those players gonna end up making it to the championship and doing better. Like, oh, y'all traded me. I would have been practicing with y'all, but I'm still in the playoffs. Oh wait, I'm in the finals. Potentially can win an NBA championship. Those are things you gotta look and think about. It's like, oh, y'all traded me. I didn't want to be traded, but okay. So it is what it is. But like I said, it might go 7, might go 8, but we'll see. We do got some breaking news though that just popped up. So the Grizzlies will send Bane to the Magic in a blockbuster trade. That trade is going to consist of, like I said, Desmond Bane going to the Magic for Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, Cole Anthony, and 4 unprotected first-round picks and 1 first-round pick swap. Orlando is sending Memphis the number 16th pick in the 2025 NBA draft. Its 2026 first-round pick, which includes swap rights with the Phoenix Suns or Washington Wizards. Its 2028 and 2030 unprotected first-round selections. The pick swap is the top 2 protected in 2029. This move represents a massive swing for Orlando to complete in the Eastern Conference. For the Grizzlies, it's an opportunity to add championship defensive wing, backcourt depth, and a major haul of draft picks. So now that you added Bane to the core of Polo Banchero, Franz Wagner, and Jalen Suggs, Bane is one of 3 players with 800 made three-pointers and 40% three-point shooting since entering the league in 2020. He shot 43% on catch-and-shoot threes in the past 5 seasons. 3rd best among players with at least 1,000 attempts. That's going to be a major boost for the Magic, who ranked last in three-point field goal percentage last season at 31.8%. This season, and last in catch and shoot. The fact is, the Magic had worst three-point field goal percentage in a season since Los Angeles Lakers in 2015-2016. Bane averaged 19 points, and he was only 26. And he's under contract through 2028 and through 2029. Now, Pope, he's 32, averaged 8.7 games, 2 rebounds in 77 games for the Magic this season. His first with the franchise, the Toy Bill Bennett, averaged 11 points for the Pistons, Lakers, Wizards, Nuggets, Magic. He's been a part of 2 championship winning squads, the Lakers in 2019-2020 and the Nuggets in 2022 and 23. He's under contract through 26-27. So that's a decent blockbuster trade. Like, I got to admit, that is a good trade. Like, you're trading some of your younger core to get, well, you traded the oldest person on your team to get somebody that's younger who's deadly with the 3-point catch and shoot, who give you a bucket at any time of day. So that, I think, is the first blockbuster trade of the summer for these teams. The Miami Heat, San Antonio Spurs, and Houston Rockets are on Kevin Durant's preferred trade destinations. And people across the NBA made aware in recent days that those are the three teams that Durant will commit to with a long-term contract extension. Durant is on a aspiring $54.7 million contract deal for 25-26. And the Suns made it clear that the 6 to 8 serious interested teams that would make the best deal for the franchise, even if it means trading Durant to a team outside his preferred list. But once eligible, Durant will be eligible to sign a 2-year contract extension July 6th, as worth as much as $122 million. If you were to wait 6 months after the trade, he could sign a 2-year extension worth $124 million. Because the NBA free agency market resets in the summer of 2026, with the teams that have cap space increasing from just one this offseason, the Brooklyn Nets, to half of the league. Durant made it clear that he did not want to go back to Golden State and was not interested in a reunion and preferred to finish the season with the Suns. At the time that Durant was blindsided by the Suns, including him in any trade conversation. So, Durant turns 37 in September. Made his 15th All-Star team this season and averaged 26.6 points a game, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists. So let's see what they can do. The Houston Rockets have given center Steven Adams a 3-year, $39 million contract extension to stay with the franchise. Adam, he'll turn 32 next month, was slated to become an unrestricted free agent this summer, has a significant priority for the Rockets after playing a key rotation and leadership role in Houston's first playoff run since 2020. He wants to stay with the Rockets long term. Adams is a veteran of 11 NBA seasons, is a prolific offensive rebounder who led the NBA in offensive rebounding percentage and helped the Rockets become the top team on the offensive glass this season. So, let's see what they're going to do with that. Like, I'm curious to see what's going to happen. Definitely, yeah. Definitely, yeah. Right now, we got no undefeated teams no more in the WNBA. Just a simple fact because the Lynx lost. They had lost to the Seattle Storm, which was interesting in that game because that's you have the Samson sisters playing against each other in that game. So that was interesting. But that's who beat them, was the Seattle Storm. So now the Minnesota Lynx are 10-1. The New York Liberty just lost the other day on account of Caitlin Clark's first game back, ladies and gentlemen. Her first game back after missing 19 games. Well, I should say she was out 19 days. She came back, scored 32 points on the tear, and gave the Liberty their first loss. And that was their first game. Like both of these games were both of these teams were away, and it was their first game of the way. So that's that. The Dallas Wings are struggling this season, even though Paige Beckers is leading in All-Star votes and showing significant increase in far as points production and all that. They're 1-11. It's a slow start. The Chicago Sky and Connect Sun are 2-7. They actually are playing against each other right now, and that game is on CBS with the shooting. I think a trade, to be honest, as far as the Sky, we're missing a true point guard. So we doing point guard by committee right now, and we missing a true point guard. But Angel Ritchie has 7 rebounds, 6 defensive, 6 assists, and 2 steals and a block with 6 points. And it's 6:22 in the third, but she's struggling. She's been struggling to shoot. She's been having poor shooting field goal percentage, and it's been an ongoing struggle. But we had people that they got injured, like we lost Courtney Vandersloot. So we need a true point guard that would help us with that. And like speaking of trades, Lee Uriel of the Storm had requested a trade and was sent to the Dallas Wings. She was complaining about having, like, she wanted the trade to give more playing time. Like, she like, I'm here to play the game that I love, not sit and ride the bench. So, like I said, they was trading her to the Wings. Dallas Wings had Lee Uriel on Saturday after the center requested the trade in quest for more playing time. The Wings are getting Lee in exchange for a second round pick in 2026 WNBA draft and a third round selection in 2027. Now, Lee only had averaged 2.8 points and 2 rebounds over 8 points in 7 minutes and 9 games. So it's like, does she get the playing time that she wants? She did have 2 starts with the Chicago Sky, where 3.9 points in 63 career games, 2 starts with Chicago Sky, Sparks, and Storm all together. Now, according to the Chinese Federation, a source told that ESPN that the Chinese Federation wanted Lee to get more playing time if she was to remain in the WNBA. Lee led China in scoring with 17 and 11 boards at the Paris Olympics last year. So they basically say if y'all not giving her more playing time, y'all can send her back. That's basically what they saying. Yeah, that's basically what they said. Former Sky guard Allie Quigley makes her retirement official finally. That's also the wife of Courtney Vandersloot too. So she makes it official. She sat out last season. She was hurt she sat out like 2 years and was constipated, but welcome a child too. So she wanted to be focused on more being a mother. But like I said, she's calling it quits, hanging up the ropes. Is going down. But that's really about what's always going on today. The Game 4 of the NBA Finals is happening on Monday at 7:30 Central Standard Time, so be sure to check that out. Back on the NBA side, the Knicks are desperate. They seem pretty desperate for me. They They requested to interview Billy Donovan, Jason Kidd, other teams that's current head coaches for those teams. All got denied, and it lets me know that y'all desperate for a situation. Here's a thought for you guys. Now y'all set for talks with Mike Brown and Taylor Jenkins. Which is crazy. Because Mike Brown got fired. Both of these coaches had winning records and led their teams to death. And they got fired for the teams. But, like I said, several teams early rebuffed the Knicks in their head coaching search. Dallas Mavericks, Houston Rockets, Minnesota Timberwolves, Atlanta Hawks, all denied. Now here's the thing. Here's a few coaches that y'all could probably go for since y'all fired Tom Thibodeau. Mike Brown, Taylor Jenkins, or former player that used to play for your franchise as well, Mark Jackson, who actually built that Warriors team of what it is now. So there's a thought for you guys. Just saying, there's a thought. Russell Westbrook is declining his $3.4 million option for the 2025 season, which will make him a free agent on June 30th. Westbrook averaged 13 points on 44 shooting percent, 6 assists and 4.9 rebounds in 27 minutes over 75 games for the Nuggets. He started 36 games in his first campaign for Denver, the most for a veteran since 2021. And he's a two-time NBA scoring champion. Boasts a career average of 21 points, 8 assists, 7 rebounds, in 1,237 games with the Thunder, Rockets, Wizards, Lakers, Clippers, Nuggets. He's a career leader in triple doubles, 203, and ranks 8th in NBA history in assists. 23 points, but is still seeking his first NBA championship. Like, I want to do what I got to do to get my championship. So if I got to go to another team, if I got to be that man, I'm going to do that. So that's what's happening with that. And that's pretty much what's happening in general right now. I'm going to let y'all know more. I'm going to watch the rest of this WNBA game. And then stay tuned for another edition of Drug Sports Live when I let y'all know who won that game, what was the scores, and the breakdown, and more. We're going to let y'all know. Until then, peace out.